Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Broad Motherfucking Topics. I'm your host, Kim Congdon, here with my co-host,
Alex Scarlato. And Kim, literally, I haven't seen or spoken to you since I left your side at the airport, and I'm getting nostalgic for our last trip together.
I am back in Tampa.
That's crazy. I mean,
you know what I did on purpose in your honor?
What?
When I drove here, I took the back road.
Nice.
Well, I didn't. I made Brian, but yeah.
Did he complain?
No, you know him.
He's a good man.
He's a great man. Alex met the guy that I'm dating. And truly, I was so excited to see Alex. She's one of my best friends in the entire world. And when she met the man I was dating, Alex looked me dead in the eye and said, "You don't deserve him."
I did. I made it a point to make it clear to her over the course of my weekend there that that man is too good for her. He's an angel from heaven, you guys. Like,
he is.
He's so handsome. He's so sweet. He's so easy to get along with. Funny. Gets a good zinger in every now and again.
Yeah, I got to break up with him ASAP. He's got to go.
He's great. He's awesome. I mean, and also things got so personal. We were like after our recording, there was a point where the three of us were like stepping on each other's backs and like cracking each other. Like
we all watched The Luck of the Irish in bed together, the three of us.
Oh shit!
And I fell asleep in between you two, like the child of two parents. And I woke up and you two were just enjoying Luck of the Irish with Chick-fil-A together.
Dude, so after our recording, that's right. Kim was exhausted. First of all, if you guys couldn't tell, like after we stopped recording, all of her energy just spiraled out of her. And we threw on the Disney Channel original movie. It was my first Disney Channel original movie ever. It was called Luck of the Irish. It was like 3 days before St. Patrick's Day, too. It was like festive. Holy shit, you guys. I've never seen a Disney Channel movie before, and I can't wait to watch all of them. It was like the writers just were like, anything that you think of, you could just write it down. And the plot could change whenever you want it to. We could go in a brand new direction. It's fine.
It was no rules in this writer's room.
No rules. And I know that they say like, you know, like there's no real like racism against like white people. There's no way to truly be racist against white people. But that film is fucking offensive. And I'm not even Irish.
They were basically saying the N-word of Ireland the entire time.
The movie is about how like these super Irish people turn out to have a bloodline from leprechauns, basically. But they take so long to get to that they almost trick you into not thinking it's a leprechaun movie.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible. It's actually, the more we talk about it, about how simple it was, the more genius I realize it actually is.
I mean, we were all pretty exhausted, and the way Kim nodded off in the middle of the movie, it was actually really cute because there'd be like shit going on the screen where I'd look over at you and you're sleeping and I'd be disappointed. And I'd look over at Brian and be like, Kim would have liked that one.
I would every once in a while I would wake, like I remember at one point I was still toited the fuck out. I mean, so gone, even in my sleep, you know, when you're like, I mean, we were so toited the next day we were toited.
Well, yeah, even that night, like after we finished watching movies, I went to sleep on like in the living room or whatever. And the way that I could hear the two of you had fallen asleep during the movie. And then when I left to go to bed, you two were up giggling all fucking night. I was so jealous. I was like, can I just get back in there? Can I squeeze in?
Get back in. No, there was points where I would wake up, toited the fuck out, and I would just look at the TV and there would be like an 80-year-old Irish man with leprechaun ears, ball and chain to a basketball rim. And I'd be like, what's happening here?
That was part of it. I forgot there were generations worth of fucking leprechauns. So you got the grandpa, you got the ma, you got everybody's turning. It's a whole situation. We watched another one too after that.
Brink?
No.
Smart House?
Smart House.
I love.
I think I blew my load with fucking Luck of the Irish. I don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I basically blew you first, then gave you a hand job when I gave you the movies in that order.
Yeah, like chasing the dragon of that particular movie is going to be tough.
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn the air. The air just turned on. Hold on. So yeah, I'm back in Tampa, and I gotta tell you, when we went to Busch Gardens, they gave me, because if you're a Florida resident and you go once, they give you the year pass. Well, I have one, but Brian doesn't, and he didn't want to get one. He's like, I just don't want to like go to Busch Gardens, and I don't really care. And I am this morning. I not even kidding, Alex. I asked this man dead to his eyes if he could drop me off for a few hours in the morning just so I could do one round of coasties and then come back, which I don't think is a crazy request.
When I tell you
that a couple hours of separation, like go get yourself some lunch. I'll go ride all the rides in 1.5 hours and I'll be so satisfied. I don't need to get lunch there. I'll bring my water bottle. That's it. I'll go get one round in and go home. And he thought it was so insane for the suggestion. What do you think?
No, I could honestly, like, if I wanted to get away from the world, I would probably just go to amusement parks by myself as my thing. It's not like if people are going to start talking to you in line or anything. You get to be alone riding your roller coasters. It sounds fantastic.
It's not even that I wanted to be alone or away from him. I just wanted to go and he didn't want to go. So I was like, is it crazy to just be like, can you just drop me off for a couple hours?
It's not. But what does trouble me about this whole situation is that, like, I'm coming back in like June for sure. And the fact that if he bought the ticket today, he could have gotten 2 fucking goes out of it because we're dragging him with us
the next time we go.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
I'm so upset.
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah. But I mean, whatever. Next time when you come back, we'll go.
I can't wait.
I was so shocked when our last 2 podcasts went up that they were even coherent.
The way that I was holding my breath when I went to check the comments.
Me too.
I just had no idea. I
was like, they're either going to go one way or the other.
Frank did such cool shit with it. When you said to put Sue's cigarette out, it burned.
It's so good. Francis, you killed it. You did. You went above and beyond more than what we deserve.
I debuted Susan's tie-dye jeans at the office the other day, and before telling anybody where they came from, I got like 7 compliments.
Yes. You know why? Sue's the queen. Brian wore Sue's jacket to poker night and won that night, all the money.
Fuck yeah. I think that was her ex-husband's jacket, but
he's a lucky man. He got to marry her.
Yeah, and there's good energy in it because she screwed him out of that jacket.
She screwed him out of that jacket, and she will again if she needs to.
I took a little break from like the intense partying after that weekend, but then last Saturday I slipped on a banana peel and fell on an Altoid. Okay. And
I don't know why I said me too, because recently me and you have both texted each other.
I know. I think I got jealous because you texted me off the Toid and I was like, well, this break can't last forever now, can it?
I went back on the Toid, and when I was on the Toid, I was like, is it too soon?
I was worried, but then when I was doing it, I felt great. But I did slip back into Southern talk for entirety of the day. I ended up going out, meeting some of my boyfriend's friends, and couldn't drop the accent the entire night.
No, you held it out in public, meeting the boyfriend's friends.
I hung out with a group of maybe 6 people over at their apartment, and I played some card games with them, and I could not stop myself. This is just who I was.
Oh, it's so funny.
Literally, one of his friends was like telling, a couple of people went out to smoke a cigarette on the balcony, and I'm just in the room with like one of his friends. And he's telling me and another friend about this fight that he had with his sister, like an argument that they're having. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, every now and again, and I don't mean to play devil's advocate here.
Oh my God.
But I did a good job. I said everything I would have said about the argument, but I fully did it in character. And I don't know. Did
it make it better?
I feel accepted. At least everybody was like, okay, no, that's good advice, but you seem crazy.
They're like, his girlfriend is unhinged.
Unhinged. I apologized to him after. I was like, I don't know if that was weird for you, but I had fun.
But this was a great time for me.
It was a great time.
Oh my God. Yeah. My mom was so traumatized from our last drive to Tampa. She actually was like, I don't even want to go to Tampa again.
Ever.
No, she's done.
Done with Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I had a blast. Also,
we had so much fun.
I got like 2 weeks of warm weather when I came back, which was so nice and great. And then,
is it cold again?
Well, every day this week I've underdressed for the weather. Like I've been having that like warm weather mentality and putting on a very light jacket and freezing my fucking ass off.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I can't believe it's even cold there. It's so shocking to me.
Yeah. Although like I'm super excited for spring. Last week I had a little break in between shows and Harrington insisted that we go over to the park and toss a frisbee around. And I think that now me and Mike are frisbee people.
You guys would be frisbee people. I don't know what else to tell you besides the fact that like you've always been frisbee people. You just found who you were.
We just didn't know it yet. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely. I went to school and like was like pseudo friends with the frisbee girls, and you're a frisbee girl.
Yeah, it's really fun too because with Mike, if you don't toss it perfectly straight, it's not a problem. He will fetch it like a dog. So you don't have to have any talent. It's great.
I am so bad at throwing a frisbee. The way that I don't understand when to flick the wrist and let go at the same time. It's an art. So
that was my problem. You got to start by doing wrist only and short throws to get that. And then you incorporate the elbow. Because if you're thinking about the elbow, you're going to fucking overshoot.
I didn't even mention the elbow. I forgot that it was even involved. I'm still talking about this. This is hard for me. When do you let go? When does this open and this turn? When is it here? When does it, when?
I don't know. You got to make it you got to think about making it spin, I think. But regardless, I think that we should, if you're bad at it, you should definitely come play with Mike because he's very accepting of a poor player.
Bobby said, when you flick the wrist. Okay, Bobby is a frisbeer too. I can see you guys all starting your own ultimate frisbee team.
Fuck yeah. I want to start an ultimate frisbee team that plays against the producers of other podcast studios.
That's really fun.
Like us against Compound in ultimate frisbee.
It'd be more fun. I feel like kickball.
Dodgeball. I never got to play dodgeball in school. I went to like a private school where they were like, we can't risk any of your pretty faces getting hurt. But the few times that I like played dodgeball recreationally, I was afraid as a child.
It's terrifying. Even now when I go train jujitsu, sometimes the younger classes are leaving and we're showing up and we're all like getting ready in the back and they do dodgeball at the end of their games and the balls come flying towards us because they're throwing them that way. It is scary even from the sidelines.
Like even at the top of a game, you know how like the balls start in the middle and everybody runs to grab them.
Mm-hmm.
I was not even down to run because I knew I'd be too slow and then I'd be right in front of the person who grabbed the ball. I'd rather just run to the back when the game starts, try to dodge the first ball and then run and grab it.
So whenever there was a dodgeball game in your elementary school, you'd see 9 kids run to the front and 1 to the back. And you were the one in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's not a bad strategy if you know you're slow though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's actually smarter because you know at least you're going to get something done.
Yeah.
You're not sitting there with your dick in your hand.
Yeah. And then, damn. What else? I feel like my life's been empty without you. I don't know. I went on a bike ride.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Yeah. Fuck. What have I done? I did. No. I was going to say I went to Busch Gardens. That was you. You are my last good memory. What have we done? Have we done anything? It's really funny because Brian's phone broke, so he has nothing to do but literally stare at me. He has absolutely nothing to do. He's not allowed to turn on the TV in the hotel room because I'm doing a podcast. He can't. I'm not giving him my phone.
I know. I just had that thought. I was like, there's no way she could do that.
He's not getting him in a mild DMs. He's not hopping in the inbox. That's for sure. So what's he got to do? He eating a bag of popcorn, waiting. He just
poor boy. He's too sweet.
He's the sweetest. Now stay out of my phone. Oh fuck!
What did we do
when he carried the surfboard?
Yes, I think we talked about that on the last show. But the way this sweet boy carried a 15.5-foot surfboard around that we never used, he just walked around with it, and
it was so annoying to bring.
Took care of it while we went to eat at restaurants and stuff. He find a safe spot for it and wait for a table where we could overlook it. It was nice.
It also couldn't have been any bigger. I gotta say, it was the longest, heaviest, most annoying thing. We just wanted to try maybe surfing, but the waves were too big, and the way that it just was in the way the rest of the day.
It was shockingly big, and it's I'm assuming that the larger the surfboard is, the easier it is to mount and everything. I'm assuming maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like as you get better and better at surfing, you get a smaller and smaller board. So your mom must be the worst surfer ever.
It's like a bridge. It's a surfboard. It's like a bridge that you cross on a car.
Yeah, that scene from A Little Princess where she crosses from window to window.
That plank, it's her plank.
That plank. You could have used that surfboard for that plank.
The fact that you just referenced A Little Princess, that you have no idea how much I love that. Papa, Sarah. I'll never forget that scene. You think I'll ever forget that scene? No.
That
movie. Papa, it's me. Can't you see me? Look at me, Papa. Look at me. Please, Papa. No.
Dude, that movie is fucking crazy. I don't know why that reference popped up just now. I haven't seen that movie since I was 10, maybe.
If you haven't seen A Little Princess, I don't care if you're male or female or both or half or none. Go watch that movie. It is so good.
So good.
It is so good. I almost forgot they literally have a slave in it.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my
Becky.
God, that sweet little girl.
Becky.
Yes. So basically the plot is that this girl is sent to this boarding school while her dad goes off to war, I guess. And
and her mom's already dead. Obviously.
Her mom passed away, yeah. So
classic.
He dies at war, and now she's an orphan, and her schooling there can't be funded anymore. So they just they add her into the slave crew that they already have there, which
they have just one girl.
Just one girl, this adorable little 12-year-old black girl named Becky.
She's super cute. She mops the floors, and then the lady's like, well, your father's dead now. I'm sorry, but since you can't pay for your room, you must be taken out of the master bedroom. You'll be living upstairs with Becky. And she's like, okay. And basically they just put them up there and leftovers, and they sort of get starved.
But they remember they use magic in it a lot.
There's a lot of magic.
There's a lot of magic going on. It's a great movie. Listen, we're not selling it as good as it is.
It's no Luck of the Irish, but it's a great movie.
No, but it's dramatic. You will cry.
You'll cry if you watch that movie. Man, woman, adult, child, anyone, you'll cry.
I'm pretty sure the girl who, I don't know where I heard this once, but I'm pretty sure the girl who starred in that movie is an actual heiress to some major fucking.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted to be that girl so bad when I was younger, and the fact that she got to grow up in India. Yeah, I was like, that is so cool.
I mean, I guess the story ends okay, but she did have some rough times in that boarding school.
Rough muff. She was fine.
You want to mop the floors all day while that one bitch does nothing but brush her own hair? Do you remember that part?
I love that girl. She had to brush her hair 50 times a day.
She brushed her hair all day, that bitch. She was such a snob.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I watched that scene, literally, it's crazy when you remember something and you remember a thought you had when you were younger. Mm-hmm. I remember watching that scene and being maybe 6 or 7. And the thought I had was, do I not brush my hair enough? I was like, do pretty girls brush their hair that often? And I just don't. And then I had really curly hair that you're not even supposed to brush out like that. So I would do it and I'd get like this big fro. Like it was whitewash movies ruined me for a while.
Damn, I can't believe that I just never put together that they just like already had a little black slave girl
Crazy
to start with.
I kind of didn't even realize it was because she was black when I was watching it and I was younger. I just thought I was just like, oh, they're just mean to this other poor girl.
Yeah, but I mean,
now it makes sense.
Weird. I saw a TikTok that. Sorry, go ahead. I was real quick. I was just going to say, I saw a TikTok that made me think of you where they were showing you, I feel like it probably came up on your For You page. They're showing you how they did the scene where Miss Trunchbull is spinning her around.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
And the behind the scenes stuff was so cute. She was like the little blonde girl who's being swung around by her pigtails. Behind the scenes, she's like, my safety word is jelly beans. So if I get nauseous or anything, I just say jelly beans and they bring me down.
And little Tildy comes up and she goes, are you just going to be up there and go, jelly beans? It's just such a cute moment. I would be embarrassed if you guys could see how many times I rewatched that scene, that TikTok over and over again. It was so cute to me.
A good 7 or 8 minutes on that TikTok, just letting it replay. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Amanda Thripp.
Oh shit.
Yes, Miss Trunchbull.
Also, shout out to to whatever fans funded us to watch Matilda that night.
That was Skinny.
That was really nice.
Thank you, Skinny. Thank you for funding our Tildy. I think there's a fight outside my hotel.
God damn it, Florida. I
got to tell you last night, our toilet stopped flushing in the hotel room we had last night. The toilet just stopped flushing and it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I was like, the toilet's not flushing. And he was like, let's call and have them do something about it now because you're going to want them to fix it in the morning. But I was so tired. The thought of someone coming in to work on the toilet was just annoying. And I was like, I don't care. We'll just call in the morning. And he was right. And that when I woke up in the morning and urgently needed to take a shit, I couldn't because the toilet was clogged. And when I called the front desk, I was like, hey, our toilet's clogged. She was like, all right. She calls me, but she was like, all right, we'll take care of it, honey. She hangs up. She calls me right back. I pick up the phone and she goes, wait, maintenance is out. I have a plunger. Do you want me to come in there and do it? Or do you just want to come get it and do it yourself?
No. What tone of voice did you respond to that question in?
I went like this. I mean, instantly I knew the answer. We all know what the answer is here, but to have me make me tell you to come plunge my toilet is so rude. I was like, yeah, you can come do it. I didn't know what else to say. Cause then I'm like,
that's a pretty good way to say it.
I don't mind plunging my own toilet. If it's a brand new plunger, it's like, I just don't want to touch a plunger that plunges all the toilets.
Listen, I don't know that I've ever plunged a toilet in my life. I'll say that right now.
And it was just awkward.
One time I peed at the studio and it didn't go down. I literally made Harrington plunge it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what's the use of being the only girl in a particular workspace if it's not to make the men do your dirty work?
Exactly. And then she comes in, she goes like 3 times and she goes, you know what? We're just going to get you a whole new room.
That's great.
She put no effort into plunging and it was like, you know what? Forget it. And
that's
then
the move. Kind of
we're walking to our room and we see a man from another room carrying the plunger to his room. I was like, this is the community plunger. Everyone's just going to the front desk and grabbing it and bringing it back.
Yeah, how many plungers do you think they got? If there's no plunger in the room, then there's no plunger in any other room. I'm thinking how fucking awkward it would be if you really had to take a shit and were forced to like knock on your neighbor in the hotel room's door. Although in Florida, you could literally not do that.
Wait, what?
Could you imagine having to knock on like the next room down to be like,
I need to take a shit.
I need to use your bathroom.
Why in Florida can't you do that?
I don't know. I don't trust people who are just passing through Florida. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't really trust someone that would just let you in their room to shit. Like,
I wouldn't trust somebody coming to my hotel room door saying I need to come in to take a shit. I would think they're coming trying to rob or rape me.
Same. I'd be like, no, not today. Not this butthole. You chose the wrong butthole to try and rape.
No, I'm sorry. I've already blown up this toilet. It's no good no more.
It's no good no more. I've already used her up. So, oh my God, so funny. I was in jujitsu and there's this guy there and he had his 2 young sons. And it was after training and we were all like talking and like his kids are probably like the little one's probably 5, maybe just turned 5. And then the other one's like 7 or 8.
You were telling me about this, right? That they sit perfectly in class and shit.
No. Those are my cousin's kids who are perfect.
Okay. Sorry.
And angels. These are this guy's other kids. And they're just sort of like waiting for their dad to finish up after training when everyone like sort of just talks and gets their stuff together. And we're talking about like crazy shit. We're talking about like fucking like, oh, we're talking about pay pigs. I was telling them about how I was like, oh yeah, people want me to pay them just to be mean to them sometimes. Like they ask me to give them money, just call them a dumb bitch. Like I was telling them about all this stuff. And then I was like, oh my God, we got to stop saying this stuff in front of your kids. And he's like, oh, they've heard it all. The kids are looking up at me like learning so much information about pay pigs. Now we stop talking about how people step on people's balls for cash. It's just way too much information for a child to hear. And the guy goes, oh, they heard it all. Their mother tells them right to their face. Doesn't your mom tell you, if you leave with some dude, he's going to rape you in the ass? He just told the 4-year-old. He was like, you will get raped in the ass. So don't never leave us. And I was like, that's kind of the way to do it. Honestly,
I was just wondering,
he'll get raped in the ass.
Yeah. My instinct was to be like, maybe that's the way to do it, but also you don't want to create like a complex in the kid being like constantly being afraid of being raped in the ass because they were exposed to the idea of it at age 4, you know?
Hey, better exposed to the idea than exposed to the dick, I say.
I feel like I was first exposed to the concept of being raped in the ass when I read the book The Kite Runner. And every time I see a kite flying, I now think of being raped in the ass and how sad that book is.
I've never read that book, but that's really fucked up.
So sad.
Every time you see a kite, you think of someone getting raped in the ass.
I think of a little boy getting raped in the ass in front of his friend. That's what I think of when I see a kite.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's why I don't fly kites. I prefer like frisbee or something.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Damn. What other things remind you of fucked up stuff?
I don't know.
Anything else like that?
I can't really think of anything offhand, but literally this thought went through my head yesterday when I was passing by a park and saw a kite flying. I thought of The Kite Runner. I had a sad moment. And the fact, like, they let you read that book. Like, it was on a suggested reading summer list when I was like 12. Like, dude, can we chill?
I remember in elementary school, I rented out A Child Called It. And like, do you remember that one?
No, I never read it.
Okay. This book was, and I don't know why this happened. This book was so fucked up. It was literally, yeah, Francis said rough. It was literally about a little boy who had an abusive mother. He had siblings that were well taken care of, but the mom abused the fuck out of him. Like she would do fucked up things. Like she would fill a bathtub up with bleach and make him lay completely under it just where his lips were sticking out. Like she would do fucked up things. Like his skin would be peeling off. She'd make him sit in a basement under his own hands until they were numb. She'd make him eat out of a dog bowl. She would like punish. She would like, it was just like the shit he would write about was so torturous in the way that in elementary school, every girl I knew needed to read that book. Everybody was like, have you read A Child Called It? I swear to God, for 3 months, I went to the library and it was checked out every time.
It was like fucking, what's it called? That fucking stupid sex book that everybody loved a couple years ago, except for teenagers.
Oh,
why can't I think of it?
50
Shades. 50 Shades, yeah. It was like
the wrong color. I said red.
It was like a fucking torturous 50 Shades that you guys were all just morbidly.
The child abuse got us off. They'd be like, read this page. And I would like read it and it'd be like, my mother stuck a pin in my eye again. I'd be like, I need more. I don't know why, but when you're a kid, you like want to read that fucked up shit.
Yeah, kids have like a morbid curiosity. I remember in high school, the same girl who I used to write love notes to, like I used to write love notes with her to the girl she had a crush on.
Yeah.
The same girl wrote this like 2 pages or so on loose leaf, a story about a girl getting raped by Satan himself. And the way that this story, it was called The Tale of Lucifer. He raped her with his tail. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there was so much.
That's incredible writing.
It was so fucked up, dude. She was talking about like breaking glass bottles and penetrating her with them. It was wild. And the way that when 1 or 2 people at school read it, like word got around, and like we have these 2 pages of loose leaf that were being passed from girl to girl so that everybody could get a chance to read it. Wild.
That's kind of my dream come true as a writer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, my friend was pretty proud.
I don't know if I've told this on this podcast, but there was this kid in my class this had to be 8th or 9th grade. And he would like write stories like that. Like he would write like weird stories about shit, but his was more like drama relationships about people around the school. Like he would do like fan fiction about people around the school. And one day he was like, I read a story about you. Do you want to read it? And I was like, sure, cool. I was like so excited. When I tell you this motherfucker handed me a script that was a graphic porno of me.
What confidence.
My back was arched. I was doing things in this thing that I had never done or thought of doing before.
Never even thought about before?
No, I could never even imagine my own body in this place. And it was fully described. It was like Kim with her brown hair, arch her brown nipples. She flicked them towards me. It was like, it was the most graphic sexual thing that when he gave it to me and he was like, did you read it? I just kept saying I didn't read it yet.
That's the right answer. You don't ever want to have the conversation about what you just read.
I could not believe my back was arched. My toes were curled. He was stroking me he was fucking me in it. He was stroking me from the back. I was like, what is going on? I feel like this could be a charge.
The descriptive words in like sexual writing is like the reason I can't read a fucking fantasy novel of that kind. Like, it's like, I can't take like her lustrous lips hung open around his meaty. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, I know.
Too academic while being sexual. Like,
I remember when I was 15, I read a book and I thought it was so romantic when he was like, he put his arm on the small of her back. And I was like, that is so beautiful.
I don't need big words and sex to be combined together. You know what I mean?
No. It's always too much.
Yeah.
What other fucking fucked up shit? I read
when I was a kid, I read Go Ask Alice when I was like 12. It's just like, I don't know if
I read that.
I don't think it's real. I think it's like not a real diary, but it's a diary. I'm not sure if it's real or not.
Why do I feel like I read that?
It comes in as diary entries, and you just watch this girl go from being like a goody two shoes to like literally being, now I've grown up, so I have a different perspective on it, but addicted to acid in this way that like tears her whole life apart.
Oh, I do remember this. And then there was a second version called Crank.
Yeah, I never read Crank because after Go Ask Alice, I was like, literally my mentality was like, well, if I ever try that shit, I'll be more careful.
I read that and I was like, this girl's living the most wild life. I will never try acid. I was that girl that was like, I'd read something like that. I'm like, why do people have to get high anyways? Well, why can't you enjoy life sober?
I don't ever remember having that mentality, but as the Diary of Alex Frank has proved, there was a point where I was like, I'll never do drugs. That's horrible. That's disgusting. Maybe I wrote that diary entry around when I read that book. Maybe that was how I felt. I don't know.
Francis says he has a really bad quote from 50 Shades. It's so cringe. This is a quote. His pointer finger circled my puckered love cave. No, wait a minute. Wait. His pointer finger circled my puckered love cave. Are you ready for this? What is that word? He muled. What's muling?
Don't mule at me while we're fucking.
What's a mule?
I don't know. What is
muled?
Like, what's the like tone of voice you have when you're muling at somebody?
Muled. Can we look up muled? His pointer finger circled my puckered love cave. Are you ready for this? He muled, smirking at me like a mother hamster about her to eat her three-legged young.
Okay, the definition of muled is especially of a baby to cry feebly or quiverously
Ew.
whimper.
That's
So
actually worse.
He cried
whimpered.
like a baby and whimpered. Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this? Okay, I'm going to do exactly what he did. Ready? Tell me if this is sexy. Ready?
Okay, it's in the puckered love cave, your finger.
Are you ready for this?
There's no explanation except that she actually doesn't know what muled means and she wanted it to sound good.
That's exactly what happened. She didn't know what muled means. This bitch was just putting things in there.
Yeah.
She's like me when I would do like essays in college and I would just start adding words in just to fill it up. You know, when she wrote that book, it was only 3 pages long. She was like, we're going to need more words for this.
I feel like this is like a calling to our fans that I really want somebody to send in some erotic fan fiction
about us.
About us. Yeah.
About me and you hooking up.
We'll read it on the show.
I love that.
It doesn't have to be, it could involve anybody.
If we're not hooking up, and I'm going to be pissed.
I mean, use your imagination, people. Get crazy with it.
Yeah, you can add anybody.
Fan fiction culture is so weird to me. Like, I remember in like 7th grade through like the end of high school, there were fucking bitches who would get so obsessed with a series like Twilight or something that they would do a deep dive in the fan fiction around it, where it's like,
I remember this.
It never added up to me. It's like, bitch, it's not the same writer. This person is faking the characters that another writer came up with and making them all have sex with each other.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys get creative. Please throw us up in any situation, not just, I mean, you can throw us not just what you want, something we want. You could do me, Alex, Chris from Brooklyn in a threesome, whatever. Like it comes up to your head.
That, I don't know.
Whatever.
Make it up as you go along, but maybe him.
Maybe him.
You guys decide. I don't know. Who are we?
We don't know. We've never discussed it.
I work for his show. I can't say this.
Okay, we're kidding.
Oh,
fun. What else, dude? What else is fucking weird? I read when I was younger, I read this really fucked up one that's a movie now, but this is what I hated. The book was so much more fucked up than the movie. I don't ever understand making a book, having a good ending, having a good twist where you like gasp, and then making a movie with a different ending.
It's because the movie, like, it's so much harder to make a movie coherent than a book. Like a book, you could use whatever words you want. You're limited on pages only to a certain degree, I guess, by like a publisher and by what you want. But with a movie, like, it's hard to show things that don't need to be said. So there's a lot of things like in a book that are described where in a movie you would have to show them, and it just never works out, you know?
Yeah, I guess the book that I read was a lot of like the girl thinking, and that's what we're hearing. Have you ever read or saw My Sister's Keeper?
No, I heard it's fucked up though.
The book, can I tell you? Are you planning on reading the book specifically?
No, I have no time for reading at this point. I wish I could start reading again.
Right. Who has the time? The whole fucking movie, the idea is pretty crazy, is that this couple, they have a kid. The kid ends up being really sick from the time she's like a baby, and then they go to a doctor.
Remember the dead-eyed girl who they cast in the movie?
Yeah, so, yes. And then she ends up being real sick, and then the couple's like, what can we do to the doctor? And the doctor's like, well, we've been doing this thing lately where like we can make you guys have a baby with the exact organs that your other daughter would need, and your new baby could share the organs with the daughter. So basically this child is going through life knowing that she was specifically bred in a petri dish to be like given her extra organs to her sister. So they're both in surgery like their whole lives, right? It's like she, in the book, she's like, I always have to do things for my sister. I always save my sister. And then she gets sick of it one day. And she's like, I'm hiring a lawyer. She's like 13 years old. And she's like, I'm fighting for the rights of my own body. She's like, I don't deserve. And then the parents are like, you're going to kill your sister if you don't give her whatever we need, bone marrow or whatever the fuck. And, it turns out that the sister is actually the one that wants to die. And she's like, you need to stop donating your organs to me so I can die. They've been trying to keep me alive since Nam. And this is how the book ends. You know in your head that the sister wants to die, and the parents don't understand that because nobody's telling the parents the whole truth. This girl's pretending she just doesn't want to give her organs to her sister anymore, when the sister's like, pretend you don't want to give them so I can die. This whole thing's happening. So this girl's fighting for the rights of her own body just for her sister, still doing things for her sister. Then she meets up with the lawyer. They're in the courtroom. It's the day of court. It's the parents versus the daughter and the lawyer. The daughter wins the rights to her own body, and she's like, great, perfect, we don't have to. And she builds this like beautiful relationship with a lawyer, and like they're very good friends now, and he like really cares about her well-being. She wins the case. The parents start driving home. The dad goes to work. The daughter starts getting dropped off by the lawyer. He drops her off at home. The dad gets a call. It's raining out. There's a car accident. The daughter, who just won the rights to her body, dies in a car accident. So she ends up giving all her organs to her sisters anyways. And that's how the book ends. Incredible.
Really good.
Incredible. In the movie, she just wins the case. And then the daughter dies. The sick one.
The sick one dies.
Yes.
The wrong sister died.
Why would they do that?
Stupid. That's actually would have been. That was like a decision. That wasn't for any reason besides some asshole being like, I didn't like the ending to the book. It made me sad.
It made me so upset when I left. When I went to watch that movie in theater, I think I stood up and I said, the wrong daughter died. Like, I was like so fucking pissed when I went to go watch it that little girl didn't die in a tragic car accident at the end. I had never been more upset about something.
Damn. Yeah, I can't. There was a couple movies that I read the book first, but I genuinely can't even remember.
Bridge to Terabithia.
Bridge to Terabithia, I did not read the book first, but the movie fucked me up so badly the first time I watched it that I would never put it on again.
The book fucked me up like that too. And the worst part was when the girl dies in the book, that she dies at we would read it in class one chapter at a time every day. And she died at the end of a chapter. So it'd be I remember the line because everybody would read out loud. And this girl was like, your friend Leslie's dead, and we thought you was dead too. And then the teacher was like, all right, next week. And you're like, what?
Oh, fuck that. That's too much.
How could you?
The way I would come home from school crying that day and make it my parents' problem for no reason.
Your parents always got mad at the school too.
Dude, I called my mom crying every day as a child. She was sick of it.
She was over it. She didn't even blame the school anymore.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch The Indian in the Cupboard?
I vaguely have memories of it, but it's just brought back.
There's a trailer for it. Can we pull it up? I need to see that trailer.
While you're pulling up the trailer to that, I want to go back to what I was saying earlier. That party that I was at on Saturday when I slipped on an Altoid beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
There was a point at that party where everybody told their 9/11 stories, and I did that in the accent as well. I couldn't help it. I was trying to go normal. You know how we were.
Really, it was just another dark day in New York.
Well, I was in the 3rd grade, and
no.
It was bad. It was so serious too. I didn't break and laugh at all. I was just being her.
No, you were just that's who you were. I love that they accepted you.
They were really nice about it.
Oh, Francis has the trailer. Hold on. Let's see it. Let's say it, Alex.
Let's go ahead and say it then.
This movie made absolutely no sense.
I saw this. My grandpa showed me this, I think. Yep. Fuck. Memory I didn't know I had.
To unlock the door.
Try it.
Me?
Believe your eyes.
I have a magic cupboard that has a magic key. I put a plastic Indian in the cupboard and it came alive. You are so
Indian, not okay.
I still don't think you could have the Native American in the cupboard. That's still offensive.
talks, eats, he trusts me.
This is weird.
Good imagination.
And live the adventure.
Hold on. Can you go back a second?
Is it to the friend?
Yeah. Did you see the little actual Indian kid in the background?
The Indian kid in the background is his best friend in the movie. Remember?
Does he? No, I don't. Is he Native American or is he Indian? And
he's actually Indian. And
that's he looks Indian. Yeah. Okay.
They did a sequel with him. He comes out to be gay later. They called it The Native American in the Closet.
And live the adventure.
Wow, this is the plastic Indian? Not plastic anymore.
I can't.
Yes! No, it's not a game!
Oh, look now. He started some shit.
These kids look like the children I would have with my ex-boyfriend versus my current boyfriend.
Oh, okay. This movie sucks. I must have watched it 1,000 times when I was a child.
I kind of want to watch it. It looks so wildly offensive. I can't believe it hasn't been canceled.
It's too late. What's done is done.
I don't know. They're canceling everything.
You can't cancel The Indian in the Cupboard. It's only on VHS. The only place you can find it is on VHS. And if you buy the VHS movie, the VHS tapes that closed, the side of it had a keyhole. And when you bought it originally, it came with a key you twist and open the movie with.
That's pretty cool.
Of course.
That's pretty cool. But it's kind of lame that they don't give you a little plastic Native American figurine,
to put in there
and to pretend like to put it in your own cupboard and see if it'll come alive. This is all bad.
When I remember watching that
tiny
movie,
Native American, once you have it alive, what do you do with it?
Dude, all he did with it was keep it under his bed and let it outside once.
Like, don't you feel like you now you owe this person a really nice life? Like a 3-inch person, I would like make it a good house. I let it live in my dollhouse.
Enjoy having one because it'd be fun to give it a good life.
I would be able to feed it anything it wanted because it needs these tiny little portions.
I would be like, you want to eat the biggest lobster ever? You want to eat so much fucking lobster? The way I would bring him a whole lobster tail and sit it in front of him.
Stand on top of a lobster while you eat it. Yeah.
You could do a jacuzzi of butter. You could warm up butter just the right temperature for him. And he could sit in it and you could feed him chunks and he could eat lobster from his own jacuzzi butter.
Oh, Kimmy, to be a 3-inch man in your hands.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first one.
Oh, fuck.
A dub of weed for the whole year. Yeah. Just a nug. Imagine a nug. Imagine if someone gave you weed this big.
It's like the logistics are difficult with like how he would roll a little tiny joint or something because you have to cut the tiniest little paper for him.
You'd have to cut the littlest paper or you give him a big one, light it, and he can just come by.
Yeah. Also, if he's so small, you could probably just blow weed in his face. He'd be fine.
Easy. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't. It's not who wants to smoke like that? Just air. Your whole tank is filled with Alex's morning breath air from her bong hit. No.
Hey, I'm trying to give this guy a good life.
Smoke him under a glass like a spider. I don't understand that reference at all. Do you smoke spiders?
I've never smoked a spider.
What is Francis just trying to be so relatable with that comment? No, I've seen it.
Can you find it on the internet? Can you find a video of somebody smoking a spider?
What the fuck is that? What are you saying, Francis?
I'm imagining like trapping a spider under a glass. How do you get the fucking smoke in the glass though? I don't know.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
He's talking about killing a spider with smoke, I think.
Why did I imagine it like a drink?
Smoke.
No video, because it doesn't exist because you lied and made it up. I've never heard of that in my life.
No, it's because animal activists are so fucking like on TikTok. I see all the time if somebody fucking has a video that's about something else and they accidentally step on a fucking spider in it, like the animal activists come out of the fucking woodwork. It's crazy.
You know what they don't like? They don't like videos where you're pranking people by putting tarantulas on them. They get so pissed. They're like, that's actually very dangerous for the tarantulas. A lot of tarantulas die every year from pranks.
That actually sounds right. I mean,
I'm like, kill it. Have you seen a tarantula? Kill it.
I have. They bother me less than small spiders for some reason. The fact that they are so big and I could like, if it's moving around the room, I'll fucking see it no matter what. It's less scary to me. The tininess of a spider freaks me out.
I had a tarantula. I remember I was probably 16 years old and my mom made me go out to the front yard and clean her rims on her car. Like I was just out there with a hose, like cleaning her tires. And when I looked down my arm, it looked like someone's pet tarantula crawling up my arm.
No.
Yes.
Just on you and you hadn't felt it? How's that happen?
I just like, because I stuck my hand up in the rim to like wash it. And when I pulled my arm down, it was like going up at a rapid pace. And the way that I stripped in my front yard, I ran inside in a bra and underwear.
My hand goes in no space that I can't see the inside of.
Well, yeah, that's something you got to learn.
My hand don't go in no hole except my own pussy.
Right. The only hole is my own.
Yeah, I would be like trying to power wash the inside. I'd probably fuck up the tires trying to power wash it with water.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying. That's a new fear unlocked.
New fear.
Yeah. Random tarantula spotting.
I'm trying to think of other weird fucked up movies from when we were kids.
I swear just recently I got over, you know how like sometimes your hair on your arm will feel like a bug for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm notorious with this long ass hair for like in the summertime, especially if there's a little wind, I'm always like jumping thinking there's a bug on me and it's literally just my hair.
Yeah.
And I've finally gotten over that. And I was in the bakery last week, like picking up a birthday cake for my mom, just waiting online. And I felt a tickle on my arm that I just totally ignored for like the first time ever. Just literally thought to myself, it's just my hair. And like 2 minutes later, I look down and it's just this little beetle on my arm.
Always. It's every time you ignore it and you say it's just a hair, it never is. That's why you always jump when you feel the hair, because it's a lesson to be learned. It's never just a hair unless it's a hair.
Yeah. Always stay on edge.
Always stay on edge. I have this memory of this really scary movie that I saw when I was a kid with my parents. And listen, I have no details about this movie. I just know that it was one of the most horrific, graphic, violent movies that was ever shown to a child. And I was so young that I couldn't even hold the memory. And I don't know what this movie is, but people... it was a brother and a sister, and they were hiding from someone that was evil, and they were like hiding in the mud at night. And people were coming to find them. So if anybody has that movie, I've been looking for it since I was a child so I could watch it again and realize it's not scary and unscare myself.
Okay. Wow. That's deep.
Because I still think about it. I don't know what happened in that movie, but I need to watch it again. It haunts me.
Yeah. There was a scene from a movie like that fucked me up when I was a kid. I just went downstairs to get a drink in the middle of the night, and my parents were watching a movie where like this little girl was in a house with these like big ass dogs, like Rottweilers or something fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like about to attack. And so she ran and they like chased her, and she like went over this fucking, like she went over like the balcony area and just fell to her death. And I was like, I guess I'll go to bed now. I'm 4.
Oh,
Children
God.
That cool.
I remember walking by as my dad and his friends were watching It, the original It. And the part that I walked by, of course, I walk in the room. I don't see any of the movie at all. This was the first scary thing, truly, I ever remember seeing in my life. This is the first scary thing that I ever saw in my life. And I walked in my dad's room. Him and his friends were watching TV. They were on the couch. I look at the TV, and the clown from It is in the gutter smiling.
Yeah, that's the scariest scene. That's the
scariest scene.
Yeah, and then you don't want to walk by those gutters anymore.
Nope.
Or like after you see It, you walk away from those gutters for like 2 years.
Ooh, this is good. I do jujitsu with a guy who works in the ICU. I'm pretty sure he's a nurse. Is that what he is? Oh, he's sleeping.
That is a fucking that's got to be one of the hardest jobs. Like ICU or like emergency room work where people are just fucking in badass shape. Like,
right. No, he's a psycho. He like loves it. And I saw an image so I have this memory of I had really, really bad asthma as a child, and I was hospitalized like a week out of the month for like a year at one point. Like I had bad asthma. I almost died multiple times. It was like a huge issue. I had to go on like this like incubator thing and like sleeping overnight, like weird shit. And I remember being at the hospital with my dad. I must have been 3 or 4. And I remember suddenly when my dad turned around, I gagged. Something came out of my mouth that was like, in my head when I was a child, was this big. And it looked like a flattened plastic bloody spider web. And I was so freaked out to show my dad. I ran over to the trash can. I threw it in the trash can and closed it. And I never told anybody about it. And then if we can pull this up, a video of a blood clot from someone's lungs, just like blood clot from lung, and Google image that. Someone recently posted an image of a blood clot they coughed up from their lung, and it was the thing from my memory.
That's fucked up. I mean, at least you know now. Although that's terrifying. Like the fact that you hid a blood clot in your lung from everybody as a child is not something.
It's insane. And that's what it looked like.
No.
Yes.
No.
I coughed up something like that when I was younger, but it was like almost black.
No.
And I thought I was possessed by a demon.
Yeah, that would make me feel like the devil is inside of me.
And I just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty scary. That's pretty fucking scary. I used to have a major fear of the devil. I feel like it's something that pushed me away from the like Christianity in total, because I was like, you guys are too focused on this devil who's very scary. It's like, I don't need this at all. I don't want to think about that.
They're like, and then when you stop thinking about it, that means it's him. You're like, what?
It's crazy. Religion is crazy, dude.
Religion is insane.
I don't need to be fucking going to sleep at night thinking that because I did one thing that I wasn't right today, that the devil's coming to get me.
No, it's insane. Fuck the devil.
I remember like having this like, I don't know, you know, when you're a kid, like your imagination just gets away from you sometimes. So you'll just like picture a scary thing, and then that scary thing that you imagined is the thing that's scaring you for the next like 6 months.
Yeah.
I remember being in my bedroom as a kid and just like looking toward the door, and like whatever kind of, maybe I was like tired, whatever it was, whatever kind of shadow, I just like imagined this like big like demon standing in the doorway. And that just my own imagination of that has scared me for years.
I saw a video on TikTok recently of a guy that's schizophrenic, and he was working in his home office. So he has like a video camera in the corner of his room. So you see him, he's working, and he's like, this is just a video of me having a hallucination. I wanted to show people what it looks like. And he's like working, and he looks over and he's like, what? And he's like, well, don't just stand there. Either come in or come out. I'm working. And then he kind of pauses, and then he's like, Alexa, turn the lights on. And then he says in the TikTok, like in the captions, it says, and then at this point, I checked the cameras on my computer to see if the person's really standing there. And he's looking, and he goes, no, which I like always knew that schizophrenic people saw things and saw hallucinations, but you don't realize how scary it is until you're like, my brain is literally making a person stand there. Like there is a person that is like looks like flesh and blood, a human, and they're not really there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so weird because I can see them, and like I'm sure a lot of times it's like, that's a face I've never seen before. How could I create something? And then I was talking to Brian about it, and Brian was like, I wonder what else our brains make up. We have no idea.
It's true.
He's like, how many things do we see that aren't even there?
Also on those, like anybody with schizophrenia on TikTok has to deal with all of these comments of people being like, well, maybe you're just seeing through to the other side. Maybe you could see to another dimension or whatever. And then there'll be like a mirage, like a fucking that barrage of comments underneath being like, this is a really dangerous thing to say to somebody with schizophrenia. Please don't suggest that this shit is real.
What if it is?
I know, that's what bothers me. It's like what if? Who knows?
You don't know if they're seeing, who knows? Who knows if the doctor that even told you that it's schizophrenia was even real?
I like to think you would go to your doctor's appointment with a second person to get like to make sure that you've seen a doctor, you know?
Allegedly, you're a doctor.
Oh shit.
Fuck. Well, I think we've done it again, Alex.
I think we did. I miss you.
Another week. I can't wait to be back and doing more live podcasts together.
Yes, we're going to record so many podcasts together in May, you guys. Stay tuned. Stick around. We'll be in person.
I'm going to New York for the whole month of May, y'all. So look out for me and Alex. Maybe we should think about putting something together. That would be fun. We'll talk, do something fun. You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Broad Topix. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on Instagram at Kim Congdon, and TikTok at Kim Congdon. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/QueenCong1.
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar, and head to gasdigitalnetwork.com where you could use promo code TOPIX, TOPIX, for a 7-day free trial. You'll get access to every show on the network, bonus shows, live chats, all this awesome stuff. And on top of that, so at the end of April, we're going to pick one subscriber across the entire network to get a free PlayStation 5. Ooh. And if one of the people who subscribe with our promo code get it, then we're going to get one too. So we need Broad Topix fans to fucking sign up for Gas Digital Network with promo code TOPIX right now. We want that. We want it.
We want it.
We want it. We want it for you. We want it for us. So
we need it. That. I want it specifically for me.
Yeah. And then also write us fan fiction because that sounds fun.
And absolutely write that fan fiction.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we love you. All
right. Bye.
Bye.